Well, welcome. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Nada St. Germain, and tonight's topic is mental health and how good nutrition and good quality supplements can truly just give your brain the nutrients and the nourishment that it needs to deal with stress. Also important to regulate hormones and when I was introduced to Neolife over 35 years ago, I was under a lot of stress. I had a job. I was working as a police officer and just dealing with shift work. I also had a lot of fatigue issues and later diagnosed with adrenal gland exhaustion. And when a neighbor shared a Neolife with me, I was really concerned about my mom's health, decided to give the products a try. And boy, am I ever glad I said yes. I feel better now in my late 50s than I did when I was in my 20s and 30s. The products have truly given me the nutritional support that I needed when I was on the police force, and then even when I left my job and started a family, the nutritional support was just incredible. And mental health is near and dear to my heart because you're going to hear from my one of my nephew, Nash, is going to share his journey and his testimonial, and we have many stories and testimonials. And I just want you to know that, Neo Life never claims to cure anything, but it's amazing how good nutrition and giving your body the nutrients that it needs, especially when it comes to brain. Your brain needs good quality nutrients and food. And it's hard to get everything from our diet today. And that's what we're going to be talking about this evening, and how, good quality supplements helps to fill the gap as to what's missing in our diet. So mental illness, 1 in 5 people are formally diagnosed every year. That's a high, high number. And your brain needs proper nutrition. It needs good quality nutrients, phytonutrients. It needs omega-3 fish oil, grain oil. These are all the critical nutrients the brain needs to function properly and to stay healthy as we age. And we're going to talk about why we need these foods and how we can get these supplements from whole food, which plays a really big role. And water definitely should be your drink of choice. It just really helps to carry nutrients and oxygen to your cells, and very important for brain function as well. So when you're looking at nutrition and brain function, you can't have a healthy brain with a poor quality diet. The food you eat every day is the foundation of your body for life. And you're more likely to suffer from depression if born after 1945 than before 1914 due to increased pollution and deterioration of our diets, especially when you look at soil depletion, mineral depletion, and food processing today. And Time Magazine had this article where they talked about how food and nutrition plays a really important role, especially when it comes to your mood and food. And this is a study that was done in 2010 on women who ate diets high in vegetables and fruit, fish, and whole grains were less likely to suffer from depression. So the studies go on, but the challenge with the whole grain piece, our grains are no longer whole. They used to grow the wheat, grind the wheat, make the flour, and make the bread. Well, our breads only had a day shelf life. What they discovered was if they started milling and removing the essential lipids, these good quality fats, good oils from the grain, our foods would have a longer shelf life. So they no longer do this. The process has changed completely. And we call it the great grain robbery because of mass production, having a longer shelf life. All the oils are gone and they are essential. We call them essential fatty acids, and they play such a big role in mental health, especially when it comes to hormones, mental clarity, focus. And you're left with, when they mill out this oil from the grain, you're left with this starchy white flour, protein, gluten product, where so many people today have sensitivities to. They're staying away from wheat and grains because they have trouble digesting. And it's unfortunate because it really is what man has done to grain. And now all our grains are genetically modified. So these grain oils are critical. And Neolife is a world leader in cellular energy with TRNN. And these are the oils from grain, which are the building blocks for cell membrane function, brain and nerve function, and hormones. And when you look at the cell on the left compared to the cell on the right, The cell membranes are surrounded by that lipid layer, and they allow nutrients in and allow waste out. So if you're not getting these critical oils in your diet, your cells look like the cell on the left, where you want your cells to look like the cell on the right, where nutrients are being able to get in and waste is able to get out. This is one of the greatest deficiencies in our diet today because of the milling industry. And, this is why when you look at supplementation, it's important. We need to find a way to get these nutrients in our diet because they're not in our food. So supplements are where most people are turning to. But there's a challenge. And we have Maryellen Vandenbrink, our holistic nutritionist, who's in Florida right now on vacation, and she's decided to hop on and share her knowledge with us. So Maryellen, what is the biggest challenge when it comes to supplementation?
Yeah, thank you, Nada. There is so many products out there, and everyone says their product's the best. And I know a lot of people think, oh, if something is in a store, it's safe, it's good. But studies are showing that that's not true, because as you can see, there's hidden dangers in a study where they tested 776 products, and they found they had hidden active ingredients that were unsafe or unstudied. So just because something's in a store or looks good on the label does not necessarily mean it's a good product. And Consumer Report, they actually found that FDA found hidden drugs even in nearly 50 dietary supplements sold on Amazon and eBay. And again, it's very cheap to buy products on there, but you get what you pay for, and you have to be very, very careful when you buy from these sources. And even aloe, like there's so many different aloe products out there. So they did a study and they found that some of the products had no aloe at all. And that was at Walmart, Target, CVS. Very, very
Oh,
scary.
I
So
think
no wonder
Maryellen
people,
choppy for you guys.
No, I
Is
can
it me
hear her
guys, or
quite
is it
fine.
Maryellen?
can you hear me
It's you,
okay?
Nada.
I think it's you, Nada.
Yeah, sorry, my sometimes they're having problems with the internet down here. So if I do cut out, just let me know. But it is so scary though, because you think no wonder people aren't getting results from these products. They're not even in the product, right? And this is why when I looked at Neolife, I really felt it was a name I could trust. I remember when I went to a coworker of my husband's, and she looked so much better, and she was always tired and sick. And when I asked her, "What's the difference?" and she said, "All I know, this product's been around since 1958. It's made from whole food, and I'm not sick and tired anymore." And at the time, I didn't understand how much science is behind the products. The fact that they have a pharmaceutical license for manufacturing, that's not required, but that's an extra step for quality control that Neolife takes. They're in over 50 countries, and they meet or exceed the health standards of all of these countries. And they have a very well-respected scientific team, and the whole philosophy of being based in nature, whole food, but backed by good evidence-based science is just so different than everything else out there. And the reason they have this high quality control is because of their scientific advisor board. Neolife was the first company to have a scientific advisor board, founded by Dr. Arthur First, one of the top toxicologists in the world. So that's why the products have such high purity. And when Dr. First, he was a cancer researcher, and when he was doing his research in cancer, he found nutrients in food prevent disease. So that's why he joined up with Neolife, because their whole food philosophy. And he actually founded the Stanford Cancer Chemotherapy Laboratory. He led the scientific advisory board for 25 years. And what he did, he put together a board of renowned scientists and researchers who are actually involved in the research and development of the product. They're not just a good looking doctor who endorses the product. So this is very, very unique. And as you can see, the scientists come right out in the field. We get to meet them. This was Nana and I with Dr. First probably about 28 years ago, and we got to talk to him and ask him questions. And it's great. Like, and if you come into our conventions or retreats, you'll actually get to meet these scientists, and it's wonderful to be able to do that. And so important to have independent peer review studies that actually test the product to make sure it works, that it gets into the body. And these are published in journals such as the New England Journal of Medicine. The USDA's tested our products. So we know that this is why they work so well. And when people ask me, well, what should a product be made from? Well, A lot of people think it's natural, it's safe, but natural can be anything from the ground. It can be algae, pine bark, ephedra, where Neolife actually goes back to the source. Because there was a study in Lancet, and what they found is what we're missing in our diets is whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and omega-3s. And this is what Neolife actually makes their products from. And every ingredient is GMO free. Very, very important. So, what are some things that are good to eat? Well, you want to go to whole foods, obviously, like berries, oatmeal, salmon, spinach is great. It has lutein, lots of nutrients, navy beans, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. So again, things that are, that are from right from the ground. You also want to watch your sugar in foods because so many foods have sugar added. And you want to be able to eat what we call mini meals, which is a balance of protein, carb, and good fats together. So, for example, something like yogurt and almonds, or apple and cheese, or good quality proteins such as eggs, chicken, organic red meat, fish, beans, legumes, and nuts. And if you can't get all of these different foods in our diet, this is where supplementation actually plays a role to fill the gap, not replace your food, but to fill what we're not getting from our diet. And Nana, do you want to share how Neolife put together our amazing Pro Vitality to help with this gap in our diet?
Absolutely. Thumbs up. You can hear me okay? Because I was having a little bit of an issue. Awesome. So the Pro Vitality, Maryellen, when you talked about, the grains and the fish and fruits and veggies, you're right. It's a challenge to get enough of these good quality foods and enough of them every single day. And this is an amazing little pack that just really helps to fill the gap as to what's missing in our diet. And these are the nutrients that I started taking 35 years ago that really impacted my life. But Tran is what drew me to the company because these grain oils, they supply the lipids and sterols that are missing from our diets. Proven that with Tran is present in the diet, overall growth and development, nutrient absorption efficiency, and cardiovascular development improve. This helps with hormones. And let me tell you, when you talk about mental health, your hormones play a really big role in how you feel and how you react and how you deal with stress. And Texas A&M University, they proved that these grain oils will help your cells absorb nutrients into your cell membrane by 50% more. So those of you that say I have a really good diet, could you imagine when your cells start working better, how much better you're going to feel? This is the foundation and nobody has it. It's been around for 66 years and nobody has this. It really is one of our most incredible products. And there's so many studies that show that there's danger from what we are missing in those lipids and phytosterols. They say it's the number one cause of diet-related death because your cells are not getting the nutrients that you need. There was a doctor at a Boston University Medical Center, and he explained that food manufacturers generally remove these spoilage-prone compounds, essential fatty acids from pasta, bread, and breakfast cereal in order to lengthen the shelf life, right? These are essential. It is the most important, the essential fatty acid deficiency is perhaps the most important health problem in America. And again, this is such a huge challenge. And again, good nutrition begins at that cellular level, right? This is the healthy cell with Tran, the nutrients get in and the waste gets out. And then there's inflammation. When you're looking at mental health, depression, anxiety, clinical depression associated with 30% increase of inflammation of the brain, according to a study published in JAMA Psychiatry. So Neuroscience News in September 2017 says brain inflammation is linked to suicidal thinking and depression. Omega-3s play such a big role in helping our brain, and the essential fatty acids that are important for brain function and for emotional well-being reduces inflammation in the body, including the brain. Scotland's study in several depressed patients in 70 to 80%, they became normal in mood after supplementing with omega-3s. Okay. How many servings of fish should we be eating? Well, they're saying between 2 to 3 servings, 2 to 3 times a week. But the challenge is the mercury and lead levels in our fish. They're even telling pregnant moms not to eat fish because of the toxins. And most of our fish now is genetically modified. So it's a big challenge. And essential fatty acids also help to regulate our hormones. So if you're deficient in omega-3, your whole hormonal system becomes unbalanced. So the good fats that we're talking about are the grain oils and the fish oil. These are your good fats that were just needed for mental health and for brain function. So foods that are high in omega-3, like fish, salmon, has the high EPA and DHA, tuna, mackerel, anchovies, and sardines. The best sources of omega-3 because it's already in the right form for your body to absorb and just works better. And eating bad fats displace the good fats, so you become more deficient as a result. So you really want to make sure you get that balance of the good fats. There's so many more benefits of omega-3s. I mean, yes, it controls inflammation, promotes youthful brain function, eyes, but very important because it supports the health for mom and baby, too, for postpartum depression prevention. We have so many testimonials of moms during pregnancy taking omega-3s, no postpartum, and their friends that didn't take it postpartum. So there's so many testimonials out there. And even the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, when they were looking at different fish oils on the market, they looked at the Neolife salmon oil and said that it was safe for pregnant moms. This is really important. Did you know that it is the #1 counterfeit nutritional supplement? Yes, omega-3. They are making fake fish oils. So you really need to be careful when you're looking at purchasing your fish oil. And the Neolife salmon oil has all 8 omega-3s, clinically proven to reduce inflammation 68% in just 8 weeks. And it's screened for over 200 toxins, allowance of 0. And again, it just helps to give you that salmon's dinner. 3 capsules is like eating 4 ounces of fresh salmon. So it literally helps to fill the gap that you can't get from your diet every through the week. Then there's the carotenoid. Carotenoids is the other little capsule that's in that little pack, and that fills the gap in the fruit and veggie department because we should be eating about 13 servings a day. So this just helps to fill the gap as well. And 1 carotenoid that's in this pack after a month, it's like consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in every box. So pretty powerful antioxidant. And there's so many more benefits when it comes to protecting your cells, immunity, eye health, free radical damage, and it protects the DNA damage as well. So carotenoids, derived from food, clinically proven by the USDA to boost your immune system 37% in just 20 days. And then the last little capsule that's in there is our multivitamin. So we really call this like a Cadillac of multis. It just fills the gap as to what's missing. This convenient pack, it's like around $3 a day, just gives you everything you need to fill the gap as to what's missing in your diet. And I'm going to have my nephew Nash. He sent this to me a couple of years ago when he was over at Christmas. So I just wanted to play his amazing story. I'm here with my nephew Nash, and he just shared something personal with me today, and I just wanted for him to share it from his heart. Nash.
Hi guys. So I've been on Pro Vitality most of my life because of my aunt. She's always had us on the products. Because of personal reasons in COVID and everything, I stopped my auto ship for about 8 months. And about 4 months in, I started feeling like severe anxiety at work and at home. And I've never had any sort of issues with that in my entire life. So it was really weird. I almost had to go on stress leave for several months because of this. And one day I realized that I hadn't been eating properly or taking my Pro Vitality or my protein shakes in the morning anymore. So I asked my mom if she had any on her. I think I was 2 weeks in and all my anxiety was gone.
Oh, hang on a second.
Thank you so much. My results with in my late.
I don't know what's going to happen here. Hang on. I might have to stop share and bring it up again. Give me 1 second. Happens with YouTube sometime. Hang on. Oh, how do I do this now? Escape, maybe. Nope.
30s and early 40s, I had pain from the neck down.
You give me a hard time tonight, I guess, huh? Nope. Where's our techie guys? Any Hang
Yeah,
on.
you might have to stop, go out of your presentation for a minute and then come back in.
And I'm going to go right to Sean. Hang on. And start
Yeah.
from there. Oh, hang on. Why is it? Can you see this now? Current slide. Oh, why does it do that? It keeps bringing me back to the PowerPoint. That is so bizarre. Sorry, guys. I even went right out.
It won't work escape, no?
Oh, hang on. Okay, let's
Personal with me.
Do escape right from there.
see.
Escape.
There we go. Okay, now.
Yeah.
Can you see this now?
Yeah, I see the
Yeah.
slide.
Now you can start this.
Okay, thank you. So this is Sean. Sean McCullough is also somebody that we know that's been dealing with some health issues. So he's going to share his amazing story.
Hi everyone, my name is Sean, and today I'm going to briefly share with you my mental health testimonial before and after the Neolife products. So when I was about 18, I started to have very severe panic attacks. I would have about probably 12 in one day. It got very bad. And I started to take the vitamin B, and it was one of the catalysts to helping my anxiety levels reduce quite a bit, help with my social anxiety, help with like kind of racing thoughts and things like that. So I could, I went from not being able to go in a grocery store essentially to being able to function in a regular social setting with groups of people. And in my earlier 20s, I would say, up until maybe about a year or two ago, started having kind of these dissociative episodes, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations that did put me in the hospital under what's called a Form 1. And I was actually advised to get off of the B complex amongst other supplements I was taking at the time. And that turned out to be a terrible decision because it snowballed in a negative way my mental health. I put myself back on them, and my mental health helped. It stabilized. It with the use of some pharmaceutical kind of medication that I'm on right now, but it helped to stabilize things and not visiting the hospital. I'm not having any suicidal ideations anymore. So I have a lot to thank Neolife for, quite honestly. And I would definitely recommend these products to anybody who's suffering with any sort of mental health conditions.
That's our Shawnee. So let's hope we can do this. Nope, it's not going to work again. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Coffee
goodness.
renovations. I gotta get up
Okay,
at 5.
let's do escape again. Sorry, guys. Okay. Do the same thing again. It's funny, every week it works just fine, right? Okay, let's go. All right. Now, oh, nope. Can you guys see this? Can you see my screen? Current slide. Yeah, and then it brings this same presentation up again. As soon as I
About
Hit escape.
again.
Just
Yeah.
escape and it should, no. Now do from there.
All right, thank you. All right, Rachel. The show is yours.
Thanks, Nada. So I'll share a little bit about myself. So I found Neolife, or should I say Neolife found me a couple years ago, but I said no at the time, and now this past year I was reintroduced, and so it's been about 6 months that I've been on the products. And I'll just share a little bit of what's changed over the past 6 months. Definitely have seen a big increase in my energy level. My joint pain has gone away. I've had an extremely healthy pregnancy, and I'm over 7 months pregnant now. And then specific to what we're talking about tonight, and this really wasn't something that I was actively working on or even really thinking about, but my mental clarity has improved drastically. My ability to just focus and be productive. I'm, I'm almost in disbelief at how much I've been able to get done these last few months. And just an overall feeling of like a more balanced mood. So not having mood swings like I used to, and irritability that came out of nowhere. That's all gone away now. And one of the other things that I've really noticed is just the ability to regulate my appetite, which does translate into mental health, because I'm better able to nourish my body, because my body's looking for the right foods. So and this really does start with breakfast. And when we think about what most adults eat for breakfast, it's cereal, toast, bagels, or maybe just a big cup of coffee, right? And if we're thinking about our children, then the breakfast foods that are marketed to them are all carbs. The cereals, there's very little nutritional value in there, and it's just sugar. Or we're thinking about pancakes and waffles, or they might even just not have breakfast at all. So they're really missing out on that protein. And when we're thinking about sugar and that impact on our immune system and our mental health, um, what I kind of think about is, every fall and winter comes around, and we tend to associate that change in weather as the culprit in the uptick of, colds and flus, as well as that seasonal affective disorder. And while the lack of sunshine definitely does play a role in that, a key contributor from what I'm seeing is that, fall rolls around, we've got pumpkin spice everything season, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Halloween, we've got Christmas and New Year's, and then Valentine's Day. So all throughout the winter, we're just flooded with these events that really push sugar consumption. And this is really one of the things that is contributing to the effects in our poor immune systems. And there's a really great book, if you want to take a look at it, called Lick the Sugar Habit, by Nancy Appleton. And in there, she talks a lot about this immune system and how sugar affects it, and how it can impair your defenses against infectious disease. And interestingly, like when we consume sugar, we start this process of, within 30 minutes of ingesting that sugary food, it can suppress our immune system for up to 5 hours. So if we're having sugar multiple times throughout the day, then we're suppressing our immune system just constantly, days on end. And we also know that that sugar can contribute to not just food allergies, but all kinds of allergies. So if you're struggling with seasonal allergies, then sugar might be contributing to that. And then when we look at anxiety and depression, so these rapid spikes in our blood sugar and then the dips that result from that can really lead to this irritability, our mood swings, which exacerbate feelings of anxiety and depression if we're already struggling with them. And that sugar also negatively impacts the neurotransmitters in our brain, which are really important for helping to regulate our mood. So there's lots of things that we might not think about that sugar can really have a negative impact on. With the next slide there. Well, maybe Ned has frozen. Oh, wonder if I can share my screen. Let's see here.
Am I back,
Mm.
Rachel?
Oh, are you back?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
back.
I'll stop
Hmm.
my share.
Here we go. Can you see can you see the slides again?
Not yet.
Second. How's that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. Yeah.
So, um, so to kind of transition from that sugar piece, what we really need to be focusing on, especially with breakfast, is something that has protein. And the Neolife shake is a really great place to get this. It's high quality protein. It provides those building blocks for proper growth and development. So great for any age, and it has more protein and calcium than milk. It's biologically complete with all 22 amino acids. So this is something that not all protein shakes do offer. It also comes with 25 essential vitamins and minerals. Each serving has 18 grams of protein as well as that fiber, so it helps to keep us satisfied. And there's no artificial anything in our protein shakes, so no colors, flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives are added, and mixes really easily in just water. So to touch on those amino acids, so the significance of having all 22, it's not just for building tissue like muscle, but it's also really important for our digestive enzymes because those are created from amino acids, as well as antibodies that help us stay healthy and fight infection and disease. Also, they're the building blocks for our hormones, which Nada talked about, and how important they are for our mood and mental health. They also help to build the collagen in our skin, and these amino acids do a much better job supporting collagen production than taking a collagen supplement on its own. And lastly, of course, really important for helping to regulate those blood sugar levels. And when it comes to mental health, regulating blood sugar levels, like I mentioned before, is one of the key things that we can do. We know that when we experience hypoglycemia or low blood sugar, this can not only cause like physical symptoms such as shaking, but it also contributes to moodiness and hormone imbalance. So Neolife shakes are a great way to help to regulate that blood sugar and make sure that our neurotransmitters are remaining regulated. And these shakes are also clinically proven to keep us in that glycemic response control zone. So you can see on the slide there, we want to keep it in that nice even blue zone rather than having those big spikes and dips. So this is also really important if you have a goal for weight loss. We want to make sure that we're staying in that glycemic response zone so that that we're not storing fat, because that's what happens when our insulin is going high along with that blood sugar. Our body's going to promote that fat storage rather than fat burning. And of course, when we have a nice balanced blood sugar, it's also going to contribute to our energy level and keeping that stable rather than having, this energy spike and then the resultant crash later on. Okay, are we frozen again? You get to the next slide there, Nada?
You see what's all in there now, Rachel?
Nope, we're still
Yeah,
on
what's
the,
inside? Can you see
there,
that?
there we go. Yep.
Oh,
So if we're curious about what's inside the shake, so everything's all natural. We talked about the 22 amino acids. Oop. It has a high protein quality score. So this this score determines a food's digestibility. So it's very digestible, which means that the body can actually absorb the nutrients so that they're getting into our cells where they're needed. 18 grams of protein per serving. We talked about those amino acids, so those branched chain amino acids. 5 grams of protein. We talked about the glycemic response as well. And again, those 25 essential vitamins and nutrients and whole food antioxidants. So what's not inside is anything artificial. So no sweeteners, no preservatives, no gluten, no cholesterol, no saturated fats or hydrogenated fats. It's 90% lactose free, and all Neolife products only use GMO free ingredients. And we also have a vegan protein. So if you're looking for something that's plant-based, then we also have that option for you. And for the kids, so we have a number of products. So the liquid vitamin is for the little ones, the babies that can't chew or swallow the pills yet. And then for our toddlers and above, we have the Vita Squares and the Vita Guards, which taste great and no added sugar in those, as well as the Neolife Shake. They're safe for kids as well because, as I already talked about, there's nothing artificial or anything in there that that we want to not give our kids. So everything there is safe for them.
and Hunter's loving them, right, Rachel?
Yeah, my little guy, he's 4.5, and he loves the vitamins, and he also he chews the salmon oil. So yeah, he's off to a great start.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing. And now we have Maryellen back with us. Thank you, Maryellen.
Hey, thank you, Nada. And when I looked at this picture, are you stressed out? I think that's exactly how I felt like 30 years ago. I was under so much stress. As you know, I was dealing with a sick son who was dealing with respiratory issues at a very stressful job, financial stresses. So all of that affects our mental health, and it causes a lot of health issues as well. And as you can see, some of the symptoms, that was me, headaches, right? Mine were bad migraines. Some people get sick a lot when they're under stress. So they get infections. Some people, their blood pressure goes up, neck and back aches, because we internalize all that stress into our muscles. Some people get dizzy. It affects our guts, so you can get diarrhea. Some people get very emotional with tearfulness, irritability. I know with me, I would lose my appetite, but some people overeat when they're upset. So it can go either way. And frequent illness, lack of concentration, sexual problems, fatigue, and insomnia. So it actually leads us to what we would call dis-ease, which is when we have too much stress in our systems. So what can we do? Well, when you look at what stress does, it actually depletes B vitamins in the body. And since we're talking about mental health today too, a lot of medications deplete B vitamins as well. So that probably increases the stress. And I know Rachel was talking about all the problems with sugar. A lot of these medications actually cause people to crave sugar. So that's why a lot of times when people go on antidepressants, they gain a lot of weight. You kind of hear it, the 15-pound gain weight. So this even adds to our stress even more. So long-term unresolved stress can cause depression, anxiety, even panic attacks. You're hearing so many, even young children dealing with this now. And consuming sugar, caffeine, alcohol, and smoking, that also, and of course, increases stress on our body. And what can we do to help? Some stress management techniques. Well, exercise is amazing for dealing with stress. It helps those feel-good hormones. It relaxes us. A lot of people find meditation and relaxation very helpful. Sunshine, that vitamin D, right? The natural vitamin D is so good. 'Cause you know, when you're like on holiday and you're in the sun and on a beach, you just feel so much better. And you know, sometimes we do have to turn off those ringers on our phone, ignore emails, take time for ourselves, and of course, keep your diet clean. The more whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, and the less sugar and salt, the better you're going to feel. Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about anxiety, like what it is. It's a very sort of like brief over period of intense fear, discomfort, and sometimes obsessive thinking. Some people, they'll get like heart palpitations. I know I've talked to people who thought they were having a heart attack when they had anxiety because it was so bad. They can get shaking, shortness of breath. Some people feel like they're choking, they can't even swallow. Chest pain, again, very similar to what you get like when you think you're having a heart attack, nausea, dizziness. They fear lose of control. Some people even actually think they're dying, and it can cause chills and hot flashes. So it's very, very stressful and very uncomfortable on the body, and it's very hard to control it. Where depression's a little bit different, it's more of a persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, worthless. There's self-loathing, very low self-esteem. A lot of times people just lose their drive to do anything. So, you know, although it's good to exercise when you're depressed, these people don't have the energy to do it because they've lost interest in even a lot of their favorite activities and focus. They feel very irritable, isolated. They don't even want to be around people, so they won't socialize with people. They do often get anxiety along with this, low energy. They can't sleep. They either sleep too much, can't sleep at all. There's changes in appetite and body weight. Some people gain a lot, some people lose a lot. And some people kind of get sort of reckless behaviors. So they kind of go for that retail therapy where they'll spend too much money or they'll go on dangerous, crazy, and adventures, substance abuse, sexual promiscuity, and even some people even think of suicide. Like we heard Sean sharing his story where he had suicidal thoughts when he was depressed. So it can be very challenging. And now I'd like to ask Heather. Heather has a really good story to share on her mental health. Heather, are you there? Okay.
I am here. Thank you, Maryellen. And the slide that you just put up describing some of the signals of depression, that was me. I was a school teacher for 25 years, and way back in my mid 50s, I had been teaching for quite a while, but I was feeling very, very stressed, overwhelmed, really got that hopeless feeling. I felt trapped, and it was really hard to get through my days. I was crying before work, during work, after work. I really felt out of control, but I tried to hide it because I felt that I just wasn't strong enough. I thought I should be able to handle the circumstances of my own life. And so I was embarrassed to feel that way. I didn't know what to do about it. And I think it was a lot more evident to the people that I worked with that I wasn't coping. And some days I didn't even recognize myself. I just like you say, I tried to, withdraw. Didn't want to be around people because I didn't want it to show. But finally, it was too much. And I couldn't take it. I crumbled under the stress, and I was off work on a stress leave. Well, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. I was under the care of a psychiatrist, and I was prescribed antidepressants. But I had been learning about nutrition. I did some research, and I certainly wanted to get better. But I thought if I could go the natural route, I would prefer that over pharmaceuticals. So I actually went to a naturopath, and it was really great. I had my Neo Life supplements that I thought should be good, and she completely agreed with what I was sharing with her about Neo Life. So with her advice, I increased my intake of the vitamin B complex, certainly the omega-3s, a lot more of those. The aloe vera was just wonderful. I sipped on that through the day. And I also had the herbal rest and relax. So there's some herbs that she had suggested, and that was what we had in our Neo Life herbal. So I was off for a year, and it was a year of self-care. Certainly regular counseling, improved nutrition using my Neo Life whole food supplements as well, and lots of rest. I was able to return to work and eventually took early retirement. And I just wanted to share my story because, I want to remind people that we can't do it alone. I hope that by sharing my story, I can help other people to recognize, where they may be going off track, and certainly for us to help people that we're around, whether family or colleagues or friends, and just say, hey, are things okay? What can I do to support you? And I just want to say that, I can honestly say that in my life now, I live a healthy, active, very active lifestyle, playing with my grandkids, playing sports, doing things that I love, being around friends. And I experience joy every single day of my life. So I hope that's inspiring to other people.
Oh, thank you so much, Heather, for sharing that story. And I know probably many of you right now are thinking of people hearing Heather's story that could benefit from hearing that, because it is a really tough time for people. And if people know, like you said, you can't do it alone, that if we could get some support, it'd be so helpful.
And
And
here's
now we have, oh, go ahead, Nada.
So Megan is actually a dear friend of Sean's. Sean, some of you know Sean King. They're both traveling today out of town for Easter, and Megan felt so bad that she couldn't come on live. So literally half an hour ago, she sent me this. Oh, you can't hear it, right? Oh, I don't believe it. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. No idea why that happened. Oh, maybe I didn't share my sound when I came back, right? Okay, I'm going to try that again. Hang on. Yeah, solution solved. Hang on.
Hey everyone, my name's Megan. I apologize I wasn't able to get on. Hey everyone, my name's Megan. I apologize I wasn't able to get on this evening to give you a live testimony, but I wanted to come on and share my little story about taking Neolife Whole Food supplements. I started taking these products approximately 2 years ago, and I've noticed nothing but amazing changes in my life. I actually just started in January of this year as a promoter, but I originally started taking Pro Vitality with the goal of supporting my mental health and improving my mental health. With that being said, with the support of my doctor, I was actually able to go off my mental health medication, so like my anxiety and depressive medication, and I've been solely relying on my Pro Vitality, and it's actually been crazy to see the difference that whole food supplements can do for you. So if you are having any concern.
Okay, it's okay. At least we know. That was Megan. I'm not sure why that happened, but her story was amazing. And then this is my dear friend, Lori. I'm going to share her story as well. Can you see this, guys? Okay.
I want her to share her personal testimonial on how the product had a huge impact in dealing with depression.
When I met Nada, I was very seriously depressed. Probably the worst I've ever been in my life. And I was on many medications for anxiety and depression. And I knew that's not the kind of life I wanted to live. So I was introduced to Nada by a friend, and I got started on the products. I think I was taking vitamin B, the Tran-N, and the protein shakes. And with the assist of my doctor, within about 3 months, I was weaned off all my medications and feeling like I'd probably never felt before, because I think I suffered from depression probably since I was a very young girl. So it was a whole new way of living for me. And ever since then,
yeah, Lori's been doing
taking
amazing.
the products.
And I think we added the fish oil too, the omega-3.
Eventually,
Eventually,
yes. Yeah.
But I think the Tran-N.
Yeah, the Tran-N and the vitamin B at the time was I think the two key ones, and then the protein, of course.
Yeah, so I watched an amazing transition, and she's become a very strong woman. And again, 20 years later, and just doing incredibly well. So just the power of whole food nutrition and whole food supplements from Neolife being as a foundation and changing your life. So I just wanted to share that story with you. Thank you.
Okay, let's see how.
Hi.
Okay, escape. Hang on. There we go. Woohoo, we did it. Okay, Maryellen. Oh, you're muted, hon.
Yep, sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute there. Yeah, vitamin D is so important for mood, and there's more and more research coming out that shows that it actually lifts our mood. And if you can get in the sun for 20 minutes a day without sunscreen or blockers, and they say even to be in a bikini, that's great too, but that's kind of difficult, especially in North America in the winter. And research is actually suggesting that you're 11 times more likely to be depressed if you're deficient in vitamin D than someone who is not deficient. And as you know, in North America, have so much vitamin D deficiencies. It's just incredible. Can you change the slide, Nada? And there's no better defense than a strong defense. And this is the difference with the Neolife Vegan D. It's a proprietary blend of both D3 and D2, naturally sourced, whole food based, unique plant source combination. And it's high potency, safety, and quality ensured. And it is proven to get in the body. And I know I've had so many clients who with low vitamin D levels, and they start taking this, they go for get their vitamin D levels tested by their doctor in their blood, and the levels come right up. So it really does work. And B vitamins, you've heard us talk a lot tonight about how the importance of B vitamins because they regulate mind and mood. We used to call them the happy vitamins, right? They're water soluble. So what's that mean? It gets depleted in the body very quickly. So we have to have a constant supply from diet and supplements, right? So they actually say if you're under severe stress, you'll lose every milligram of vitamin B in your body in 15 minutes. So the needs increased with stress, pregnancy, all sorts of. Can you just go back there, Nada? I didn't finish. And infections, medications, especially things like the birth control pill, alcohol, and caffeine. They all deplete B vitamins. And the Neolife vitamin B is very different because it's a unique whole food source and it begins with nutritional yeast. This is not the yeast like Candida yeast. This is different. It's actually a beneficial nutritional yeast. It's complete. It contains a full complement of water-soluble B vitamins and it delivers the balance. What happens, a lot of people will take B6, B12 in isolated form. When you take B vitamins and isolates, you actually knock off the absorption levels of all the other Bs. So it's actually detrimental to the body. So it's better to have a vitamin that has it all in balance. Like, you know, you've heard that phrase, you're only strong as your weakest link. Well, that's how it works. And aloe, one of my most favorite products because it's so good for the digestive system. It's got a herbal tea blend of ginseng, passion flower, and chamomile, so it helps with stress. It helps because a lot of times when people get depressed and especially if they're on a lot of medication and stuff, they get very constipated. This is calming and it helps with anxiety, stress, depression, and it just soothes the gut. Because, you know, especially kids, what do they do when they're upset? The first thing they say is, oh, my tummy hurts, right? And this really helps with that for sure. And acidophilus complements the aloe vera because of that brain and gut connection. And there's a lot of research suggesting a significant link between the health of the gut and the bacterial population and mental health. So in other words, if your gut is out of whack, you're going to feel, you know, depressed, anxiety, all sorts of issues. And how does this happen? Through processed foods, sugars, medications, antibiotics, preservatives. This causes this bad bacteria to take over. Neolife has a really great Candida cleanse. I know a lot of people are put on those Candida diets, and that's great, but you can't live like that all the time. You got to kill off the yeast. And this is what the garlic and acidophilus do. The garlic kills the yeast, and then the acidophilus puts the good stuff back in. And Neolife's acidophilus is target delivered. So what that means, it actually gets down into the gut where it's needed. And this is very safe cleanse. I've even had people when they're pregnant, like cut the cleanse in half and do it. So you want to avoid those bad foods, a lot of the ones that Rachel was talking about, like the sugars and the yeasty breads and the crackers and cookies and baked goods, like any processed food. And of course, you want to stay away from wine, beer, vinegar, soy sauce, things like that. And you take 10 garlic um, a night for 10 nights. So you take that at dinner time. And in the morning, you take 6 acidophilus for 30 days. So once you finish the garlic, once the yeast is killed, you keep on with the good bacteria to really, really repopulate that gut. And if after 10 days, there should be a strong smell of garlic in your bowel movement, that means the yeast is killed. If you don't smell anything, you might have to take the garlic longer. I've had some people who've had to go 11 garlic a day, 12 for a while, like sometimes a bit longer until they actually smell the garlic. And then you want to keep going on with that acidophilus. Once you finish this cleanse, some people go on what we call a little maintenance type program where they'll take 1 acidophilus in the morning every day. And some people even take a garlic at dinner. It depends on how severe your candida situation is. And the mind enhancement. This is great for more focused concentration, clear thinking. It helps with memory. A lot of times when people are stressed, they get what they call brain fog, where they can't remember things. This actually increases circulation, stimulates the nervous system, and it also increases antioxidant activity, which is very important to help stabilize and enhance mental function. So it's a great complement to everything else. What makes this different? It's a comprehensive multi-herb formula. It's not just one herb, because all these herbs work synergistically together. That means they all help each other, right? And it includes ginkgo biloba for mental clarity, and it is guaranteed for purity, potency, and consistency. This is a big problem out there in the supplement world. The herbs are not being standardized, okay? This is the finest advanced standardized herbal extracts, 100% naturally sourced ingredients, so it's safe. And it does optimize your mental performance. And Nata, those energy drinks, what do they do to us?
Oh man, Maryellen, it's so weird because I'd never tried an energy drink. They actually scared me. And when Neil Life launched Elevate, that I'm gonna be talking about right now, I can't believe how many people that I've talked to since this launch of our drink, that how many kids are drinking so many energy drinks, like 3 to 5 sometimes a day. I was even at my Volkswagen dealership today, and the guy I was talking to today said, "Yeah, I have one. I got two a day, one in the morning and then one in the afternoon, so I don't crash." I'm like, man. So, anyways, yes, energy drinks. Dangers of energy drinks: drastic rise in the incidence of ER visits, a tenfold increase in hospital-related emergency room visits due to energy drink consumption. Energy drinks and energy shots can be very dangerous to your health. And kids are taking this literally for their mental health. They think it's helping them. Well, Elevate is a nootropic energy drink. It's delicious and it's formulated with ingredients to boost physical energy, improves mental focus, and supports balanced mood while hydrating the body. And it tastes absolutely amazing. The theanine is something that people are talking about. They really understand the importance of this amazing nutrient for your brain. And it's got caffeine from green tea, but it's real caffeine. I did not realize that there was actually a synthetic caffeine out there. And then magnesium and electrolyte minerals. And I'm going to share Francis's story with me because I remember about a week ago, she shared with me that she always had this feeling of being overwhelmed. And to the point where sometimes she would have to sit on the couch for hours and she couldn't even get up to do a load of laundry. That's how bad she was feeling. And since she's been on Elevate, that whole feeling, she never gets that overwhelming feeling anymore. It was debilitating for her. And she's so grateful for Elevate. So she wanted me to share that with you guys tonight. So when you look at Pro Vitality, when you look at our protein shakes and Elevate, this is kind of like the nutritional foundation that we recommend people give a try because it really helps with that whole mental health piece. You're getting all those nutrients in the Pro Vitality, you're getting that good quality protein and an amazing energy drink, especially if you're looking at something later in the afternoon before you get that kind of low and lull in the day. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I get a hold of these amazing products? It's free to become a member of the Neo Life Club. As soon as you become a member, you automatically 10% off. And you can even get a 20% discount if you have something coming on a monthly order. And the Vitality Pack, for example, is a month supply. So if you take it every day, You want it coming every month. You get a 20% discount and you get all your shipping back in 6 months in loyalty points. So it's a win-win situation. And you can also get your products for free. If you refer 3 people to the Pro Vitality, you get yours free every single month. And we do also have a weight loss system as well, and a fitness program if you're looking at increasing and improving your fitness. These are the health solutions: the Pro Vitality, your breakfast solution, your weight loss solution, or adding Elevate to that foundation. Fabulous place to start. And you know what? I don't have a lot of time to share the income opportunity, the business opportunity with you tonight, but I just wanted to let you know that if you or someone you know really enjoys helping others, like when I looked at Neolife, it wasn't for an income opportunity initially. I really didn't know if I could run a business or build a business. I didn't have time. I was so busy with my job, working shift work, but it was so easy for me to share. And I started to generate an incredible income where I was able to leave my police career. So if you're thinking, a little extra money might be helpful, or you're thinking something long term for security and for your future, just reach out to the person that invited you and they can guide you in that direction. If you just want to try the products, give them a try. It's free to become a member. If you're curious about the income piece, just ask. If you want to learn more, every Thursday we do a different health talk where you can learn more about how these incredible products can impact your life in so many different ways. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I want to apologize for the technical challenges, but I think we're able to get through it with all of your support. So thank you so much. And Heather, thank you for coming on live and sharing. Really appreciate you, and Maryellen and Rachel as well. So all the best to you all. I'll stop the recording and open up to any questions that you may have.